Hello.
Hi, a very good morning, Mr. Rohan Tripathi, and it's great to have
Good
you
morning.
here. Yeah. Mhm.
Good morning.
So the Next Gen Entrepreneur team is very happy to invite you to have this discussion in our ongoing Beyond Dreams series. And a brief intro about Mr. Rohan is he's the founder of Inovocare Healthsoft Solutions. It's a South Kolkata-based medtech startup. It's founded in 2018. And Inovocare Healthsoft Solutions is working on various areas like medicinal adherence, diagnostics, and medical education. And the startup has also bagged many awards and laurels, including they are the winners of the India's Innovation Challenge contest by the Department of Science and Technology, Govt of India, and Texas Instruments. And interestingly, the startup has also been awarded as the best performing startup at the Big Pitch competition at the Entrepreneurs Business Summit organized by the Bengal Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And also adding a feather to the crown, the startup has also secured NIDHI and BIRAC big grant. So Mr. Rohan, it's great to have you here. Can you please share a brief introduction about yourself and your entrepreneurship journey?
Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity for deeming us worthy for this platform. So our journey starts from right back in college. I'm basically from a mid-tier college in Kolkata, technical BTech. So basically, right from my second year of BTech, we were looking into many things because we did not want to fall in the typical fold. So there were multiple things, and we were going here and there in exhibitions, projects, looking for avenues where work was required, possibilities that can be turned into opportunities. So from there, we found out that there was a large gap in the health tech sector, specifically focusing on the elderly care, geriatric care.
Okay.
So working on that, we arrived at a solution for medicinal adherence. A lot of the elderly population, they typically face a problem of remembering their medicines on time. Even if they have a son or daughter at home, the problem remains that no one can, at this time and age, no one can sit idle at home. We can't afford that.
Yes.
So in the busy schedule and everything, it becomes very difficult to remember whether or not the medicine was had or not. My mother has this problem every morning after breakfast, remembering whether or not she had her pills. So, and if you see, there are a lot of so-called solutions of this in the innovation spaces, incubation centers of here and there. But in real life, if you go out and study 100 homes, the best possible nearest solution you will get is basically a glorified tiffin box where Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and morning, evening, night.
Right. That's right.
So probably you have one in your house.
Correct. Yeah.
The problem there is there lacks a proper sense of adherence. Like you can't check when you are sitting here in office or when you are in abroad or somewhere else. If you want to know whether your mother or father or anyone else had their medicines on time, it's basically just a glorified tiffin box. Because you have to have a proper check. A lot of doctors whom we interacted with, they told us that after the prescription was given, the patient comes back and says, this medicine is not working.
Yeah.
But whether it was consumed properly or not.
Correct. The right time and, the right time and correct. Yeah.
Yes. Till date, there is no, proper solution. There are some very hi-fi solutions. But again, if you are considering the Indian masses, you have to, make products that they can accept and avail.
Yeah, they can use, right? Daily life, they have to use it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Otherwise, a solution loses its meaning.
Correct.
So that was the target. So we were working on that. With that, we won our first big competition, all India level. So that helped us start, that helped us say no to our, the campus placement offers and then start on our own.
Okay.
So that was a good feeling. So then we were incubated at IIM Bangalore for a few months, the NSR cell of IIM Bangalore. But we decided to set up base in Kolkata itself because most of all of our contacts and everything, the doctors we know, the facilities we can avail are all based here.
Okay.
So in that path, and our second venture with which we won we stood actually We stood second in the diagnostic category of this year's
Great. Okay.
BIRAC call, COVID-19 call.
Okay.
So
Congratulations for that.
Thank you. So that started basically, we were building a simple head-up curable test. Basically, it's a typical system where you just you need to sleep on the bed and it just puts you erect on a 70-degree angle.
Okay.
So we were building. We are actually very honored to be closely working with the School of Tropical Medicine in Kolkata, the pharmacology department, clinical and experimental pharmacology. My mentor, Dr. Shambho Samrat Shamazdar, is there. So on his asking, because the government tender process takes a lot of time. So he asked us, since you guys are making this and that always, so why don't you try your hand at making a low-cost HUTT bed?
Okay.
So we made a very simple, very few thousand rupees HUTT bed. When we installed that, we found that the diagnostics that were required with the HUTT bed for the proper detection of autonomic neuropathy, that was in a very bad condition because the available devices, the cost, the requirements, and the basic status of the technology, that was in a we deeply studied the available devices and found there was a proper lag. So from then we started working on that. First, we secured the NIDHI fund that helped us develop our prototype. And we had a small level testing with that. The proper detection, if you follow the IPL, this year's IPL auction, you would see on the first day, the auctioneer had a fall. Basically, that was for postural hypotension. That is one of the things our device is detecting. So
great.
It's very much needed. The American Diabetic Association gave the verdict that a diabetic patient needs at least once a screening every year. And the diabetic population of India is
oh my God, yeah. It's always expanding and exploding here.
Dangerous figure. So, but still the awareness is much lesser for autonomic neuropathy. Peripheral neuropathy, you will find still a little more awareness. But, and another part of our work, I would love to say that during the lockdown times, since most of our work is in hardware, the hardware channel was almost disrupted like anything. So to utilize that, we established a fraternity called the Inovocare Academy, where we had regular CMEs, medical education sessions, with some prominent All India names like the Geriatric Society of India, some Bengal-based names like the East Bengal Club, the football club East Bengal. So with that, we had frequent interactions for some only for doctors, some for the general awareness of the masses also. Last year, we had a 12-month adherence awareness program where we had one event every month because there has to be more awareness for that. So that's what basically we have been doing over the last few years.
It's really great. Like the journey is very inspiring. Even as a youngster from India, like you're not following the conventional path, right? College and a job and starting your own venture and finding the gaps in wherever the medical fraternities. It's really inspiring, I'd say. And you clearly explained your focus and all your initial points. Great. And can you please say us about the initial challenges? Because as a student starting a new venture, you'd have had multiple challenges, right? Securing a position in incubator, registering, and I could see funding. So can you please briefly say about your challenges? What were your challenges and what could have been improved to make the journey smooth?
Absolutely. The first challenge that we faced since as I said, we started right from college. So after college ended and we won that competition, suddenly I found myself left without a team because the two of my team members had taken up jobs.
Oh my God.
So I was like, what will I do?
This is a societal challenge, right?
Yes, and to say I had some funding, but the funding was, not such an amount that could be dependent upon a lot. because
Correct.
that alone can't win you battles.
Yes.
So then we started to, understand things, how it would go. Slowly, we started onboarding team members. My team that I have here has been onboarded over the last 3-4 years, basically, slowly,
Okay.
one by one.
Okay.
So they are all, I think the biggest challenge would be getting a good team to understand you and the problem.
Yeah,
Because,
long-term, long-term, a
absolutely.
partnership collaboration is actually needed.
Absolutely. And the thing is, they need to be absolutely on board, because let's face it, in the beginning times, it's not possible for a small startup like us to be offering some things that a MNC can offer.
True.
But once they see my boys saw the potential in what we are building and how it can go. So then there was no problem. And I think the mutual understanding is very important, that as it is, we are fighting battles on all fronts. We can be fighting one at home also.
Yeah, right.
So
yeah.
that is one thing. And another thing, I guess, that is something we are almost still facing. That is, if you see, there are two scales in which things are working, the technology part. One is at the hobbyist level, like college students working on what they feel like, what they love. That is one part.
Yeah.
Second is the industry level.
Yes.
So at that level, the scales are much high, the minimum order quantities are high, and everything are very high. So we can't be restricted to that college boy level anymore for a long time now. And that industry level is the cost and everything of that, the scale, it just eludes a startup in the prototyping phase.
Right.
In between, there was a what will I get and where will I go kind of
situation. A huge gap, right? Huge gap.
There are with some of the places kind of, and especially for a team like us who are typically focused on hardware. So they're availing the proper hardware is a kind of a
true. Yes, I get it. To be honest. Yeah. So that's great. Like you stick to your idea, the initial point, and you're driven till this, and I also got a lot of laurels and government fundings and more. So that's really good. And I could see that entrepreneurship spirit in you, to deal with it and correctly diagnosing where the issue is and the limitations are, and to how we can overcome it. So that's really inspiring. And about your saying, like in a couple of words or sentence, like what's a major value proposition to the society, like your holistic solutions, like all the products, what's the value proposition to the society?
Value proposition is like I mentioned, that mainly our two products that we are planning to bring forth to the market. First, with MedPer, the main value proposition is the medicine that you are not taking cannot help you. It's my mentor, Dr. Somasdar says.
Great.
So it's a famous saying. So, and we want to eliminate that anxiety part of the post-prescription journey. Did I have my medicine or not? Overdose will kill you. Underdosage will hurt you even worse.
True.
And when you are on a bad medication, when you are missing the medication continuously, or you have exchanged one medicine for the other, and having it continuously, that can lead to a huge, the damage to both your health and on the other side of the coin, your finances.
True, yes.
And if you see with the advent of, since typically in the post-COVID era, with the increasing stress on digital health and the proper digitization of medical data, so I think we are in a very good position right now with our devices, with the focus that we have typically on the elderly population, because both of our devices, both NIDHI is the auto detection unit. It's called non-invasive baroreflex assessment, a combined system. Even with NIDHI, the prime focus is the diabetic and the elderly, because these are the two sections of the society which are most affected by this problem of autonomic neuropathy. So that would be our value proposition, that we want to make life better at an affordable,
Yeah.
affordable and sensible sense for the elderly.
Okay.
Because our technologies are typically aimed at or surface around the elderly. Because the Indian elderly population in the coming, say, 1 decade is a astronomical figure, to be honest.
True. Yes. Yes.
And the thing is, if you, as I started my journey, typically with a focus on Kolkata, I have always seen my friends, my cousins, and everyone I grew up with, typically getting a job or for higher education. Even my own sister, they have to go outside. So, and this there is a new emerging elderly population that are coming up, who are a tad bit more clear with their technology than their predecessors were.
Yes.
So that is the new age Indian elderly that we target.
Okay,
And,
great.
and we want to serve them to be even more independent.
That's great. So your focus is majorly like chronic disease management and geriatric care. It will go into that. That's great. So it is great talking with you, Mr. Rohan. And if you could just say a couple of takeaway points for the aspiring entrepreneurs, right? Like students who aspire, have an idea but don't know where to start. So what is the points of advice for them?
Try to validate your product or solution in as small a way as possible. Like spend as less money and as less time and try to get a feedback from the people and understand, be very sure that even after you go, you will fall and rise multiple times. But at least be sure that your core proposition is something that is actually needed. Because especially since I have been involved with technology and tech entrepreneurship all my career, so what we find is a lot of us, even we have been guilty of doing this for a very long time. That is, we love technology so much and we are obsessed so much about it. We sometimes think add this, add that, and let's see what it is. But focus more on the benefits of your end user rather than the fun and satisfaction that your technology brings you. Your technology satisfaction you can get in your own tinkering lab all day long. So focus on the person who you actually want to serve and who will actually pay your bills at the end of it.
Okay, great. So the customer satisfaction and that's very important.
The experience basically. The experience. Customer, like if I say with MedPer, our adherence kit, what we found was typically what happens, if you see, there are a lot of apps around there. Reminding people of medicine. There are a lot of technology, a huge IoT, huge gadgets that have otherwise great. They involve machine learning and everything, and they're doing, as technology lover, it's fantastic. But at the end of the day, if you typically observe a typical Indian middle class household, will that fit into the top of their fridge or their dining table? That.
They all have the high-end, the hardware, plus it will be with the algorithms and putting in the pills and everything. The kit, it's actually a very huge investment for a middle-class household. It's not reaching for everybody.
Absolutely, and whereas what we target to make a device that would cost less than their monthly pill burden. Like every month, what you spend on your medicines, this one-time device would cost less than that.
Oh, that's
so
great.
They can think that if that improves my year-round performance as a consumer. And another thing is what I started with was the elderly population who are typically becoming a lot more independent than they were some 20, 30 years ago, or even down 10 years ago. They can avail technology and they need something that can, help them be more independent.
True.
So that has been our focus.
That's great. Yeah, it's really inspiring, and it's great talking with you, Mr. Rohan. And thank you for accepting